Nobody can lie. This draft class is very weak for the quarterback position. It does not seem safe to take a quarterback inside the top 5, never mind the top 10. For the first time in God knows how long, and teams are probably scared. However, there's one quarterback prospect that intrigues me, like how Trey Lance did last year. I love the project quarterback like Lance and Josh Allen in years past, and there's one this year that I think could and maybe should go as high as number 2 to the Lions, 6 to the Panthers, 8 to the Falcons, etc. Because they will be the next franchise quarterback a couple years from now. What quarterback am I talking about? Oh, simple. That would be Liberty quarterback Malik Willis. But before I get into the video, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel, as all support is very much appreciated, and it helps me out more than you can see. Also, there's something new I need to talk about, and that is that my friend Mike Kendi and I, of Mike Kendi NFL, have started a podcast called the JM Touchdown Show. Episodes come out about every Friday or Saturday, with clips rolling out by Monday or Tuesday. Not everything's finalized yet. The link tree for that will be in the description below. Now, let's get right into why Malik Willis may as well be the franchise quarterback from the 2022 NFL Draft. Malik was a 3-star recruit coming out of high school, and received some offers and committed to Auburn out of high school, and began his freshman season in 2017. He would play 2 years there, but only attempt 14 total passes, and then would transfer to Liberty to become their starting quarterback for the 2020 season. Malik would play well, putting up over 20 touchdowns and a rating of 150 more each season, while showing some great potential in those 2 seasons at Liberty, especially in rushing, which he had 944 yards and 14 touchdowns, and 878 yards and 13 touchdowns. After the 2021 season, Malik would declare for the 2022 NFL Draft. But what makes Malik special in my eyes? What makes him the quarterback in this draft class? Not that it's a hot take as it's between him and Kenny Pickett, but still, why him? Well, let's delve into that explanation and take a look at all of his strengths and all of his weaknesses. I'm not biased, guys. Come on, you know I'm going to get into them weaknesses too. Malik has shown some special skills on film. But the reason why he isn't regarded as the clear number 1 quarterback is because he's also been inconsistent. I watched every snap of Malik's in 2 games, one of his best, one of his worst of the 2021 season. The game versus Old Dominion and Ole Miss, to see both sides of the prospect of Malik Willis. Obviously, we're going to start off with the positives, which are he has very good zip on the ball and can definitely get to the places he wants to fast and make very good tight window throws, and that is a great skill to have. There were a few times in the Old Dominion game where he got it into the tight windows, but his receiver dropped it. Good throws, just drop balls, or good plays by the defensive backs. His throws are fast, and it works really well in the RPO offensive system he was placed in at Liberty, so that the receivers can get the ball in open space and make plays down the field, while also allowing Malik to show off his arm talent on the sideline, back of the end zone, outside the numbers, in the middle of the field, and other areas of the field where a throw into a tight window may be needed, so basically every area of the field. From what I can tell, he has a good quick release that helps him get those balls where they need to go. That is obviously needed at the NFL level, as the ball has to come out fast because of the pressure the quarterback will face. And those 2 things, the zip on the ball in the tight windows and his quick release, go together perfectly, because you need to have a quick release to get the ball into the tight windows, and with his arm strength, the ball can get there fast. But he can also change the speed of his release when needed, depending on the type of throw he has to make. Even in the bad game against Ole Miss, he still showed flashes of his throwing ability. Again, fitting the ball into tight windows and getting it out quickly at times. Malik can get the ball where it needs to go, when it needs to be there, most of the time. That is a trait all NFL scouts, coaches, and GMs love to see out of a top quarterback prospect in the draft. And then there's the obvious thing from Malik Willis, and that is that he is a great athlete. I have to save the best for last, because I'm just that dude. Like Malik. He is fast, explosive, it can make plays in the open field with his elusiveness and strength as well. That is the most blatantly obvious skill for Malik, as he uses his athleticism through designed runs, scrambles, being mobile in and out of the pocket to find people downfield, and it works well for him. If his reads aren't open, he will run down the field and gain some yardage for his team, and his toughness also helps because he's willing to take a hit, as shown through his college career as a starter, and although he is shorter at 6'1", his frame certainly helps with this. He knows how to read the holes right on runs, and can follow his blocks well, setting up easy big gains or touchdowns for himself on the ground. However, no prospect is perfect, so there are some negatives. First, his decision making. In the Old Dominion game, he threw a 43-yard touchdown to Kevin Shaw. While it was a touchdown, it was thrown in great coverage that really was just a lucky catch and a great read by the receiver, and a ball that would almost never be caught against NFL caliber cornerbacks. And then versus Ole Miss, similar story. He would try and fit a ball into a window that isn't there, and it would either get intercepted or just be incomplete because the corner and or safety was draped all over his target. And then going off of his decision making, he has no idea when to throw the ball away. He relies on his athleticism way too much to try and get him out of sacks when he scrambles out of the pocket, but during both games, there were times where he should have just thrown the ball in the stands, throw him to the cheerleaders, and refused to because he wanted to try and make a play downfield or with his legs. This narrow-minded vision screws him over on his scrambles up the middle as well. People can be open downfield, but he decides to try and run up the gut. And with the Liberty offensive line struggles of 2021, trust me, they were bad, this certainly did not help their case for keeping him protected from sacks and unnecessary hits. I believe he was sacked 52 times, and I apologize I do not have the number in front of me. Instead of throwing the ball away, he will either scramble out of the pocket until he is sacked, or try to throw it downfield, but does not have great accuracy when throwing on the run either. So that does not help his case of his decision making, no idea when to throw the ball away, and just relying on his athleticism too much. Because when he throws on the run, when he's scrambling, it's not very accurate. It hits the ground a lot. And there's one thing that I actually disagree with NFL scout Lance Zierlein about, and I think Malik is a one-read quarterback. And I see this through his offense at Liberty because it is very, very elementary style and very easy offense, as it is mostly RPOs with quick throws that will develop the deep shots down the field later in the game. Now, I am no NFL scout, so maybe Lance Zierlein's right, and don't claim to be. But from what I saw in those two games, at least, he turns his head one way and does not look away. He is locked onto that guy, unless it is to run when that guy's not open. As said before, this may or may not be his fault because of the system he was put in, but that itself is a red flag, as it'll be harder for him to transition to an NFL offense. But like a lot of players in similar situations, that could be figured out in a year or two's time. This is a big issue because if he locks onto a receiver, the cornerback can just read it so easily and either knock it down, pick it off, or make a big hit on the play. So this has to be figured out quickly, but like I just said, NFL coaches are NFL coaches for a reason. My last concern with Malik Willis that I noticed in the two games I watched is his deep ball accuracy and touch on those throws. Multiple times throughout both games, I watched his deep balls being misplaced, overthrown, or just lacked the touch and finesse needed for the receiver to make a play. He has the arm strength for the deep throws, no doubt, as I brought up earlier, his arm strength is great. But it's the placement of the ball that is the big issue. Whether it was thrown to the wrong shoulder, or it was just a straight line there and we're flat, the receiver cannot make a play on the ball, leading to an incomplete pass most of the time. This also has to do with his decision making, because sometimes he'll try to throw these deep balls into windows that simply do not exist, and the throw will just not lead to a great outcome in any way, shape, or form. Like an interception, because he will look downfield and be confident in his arm strength and the zip he can put on the ball. But again, not to be able to fit it into a window that does not even remotely exist, like the Easter Bunny. Sorry guys, I wrote this on Easter, and even though I'm not recording this on Easter, I still had to make that joke because I wrote it then. Malik Willis has some high highs and some low lows. Whether it is his elite athleticism or some accuracy issues, amongst other strengths and weaknesses, a lot of things are coachable. Keep in mind, this is NFL coaches we're talking about, but they all still exist. But that's the whole point of this video. I love project quarterbacks, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video. The guys who have the physical tools but need some sharpening up is very intriguing to me, whether it's mental or with some other physical stuff. I think Malik has all the physical tools to be the best quarterback in this draft class. Even if other prospects like Kenny Pickett may be more refined, Willis has everything quarterback needs to develop to be successful in this league. I mean, look at his pro day and his combine. He did great there. Also, look at his college career. Look at Josh Allen as well. Was seen as a raw project quarterback and took him until his third year to become a star in this league. Sure, Malik has his faults, like his deep ball accuracy, but he can also put the ball to where only the receiver can get it at other times. Not just on the deep ball, but every other type of throw. Also, nobody knows what to expect because of his lack of true competition at the collegiate level, which is something I should have mentioned earlier, but I don't really know how much I believe in that as a weakness. But hey, Josh Allen also had the same thing. I guess we'll just have to see. No prospect, especially quarterbacks, are perfect, and that includes the Liberty Star, and I cannot wait to see where he goes tonight. I wish him the best of luck with his professional career, no matter where he lands. And with all that being said, that is it for me, guys. Thank you for tuning into Fanatic Sports. If you made it this far into the video, which I'm sure not many have, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as all support is very much appreciated. Also, make sure you follow me on Instagram at FanaticSports25 and on Twitter and TikTok at Fanatic Sports. And this is Joe Shea of Fanatic Sports. Oh, you got my last name. With, again, my signature football flip. Signing off.